Just some festive meals I made over this weekend. I love cooking at this time of year. It truly is the best time of year to cook meals. And I also did a little pre-run for one of our Christmassy meals I'm going to be cooking on the big Christmas week, and I thought you would love to see it. So grab your pens and paper, get a cup of tea, and let's go. So kicking off the weekend, I started with a slow cooked cola gammon. I picked up a large gammon joint from Tesco just because I was passing. Now, I picked up the smoked. You can get unsmoked in Tesco for what I saw, for around the same prices. We have gammon once a year, and Lawrence is absolutely convinced that smoked tastes better, and if it's only once a year, we'll be okay. So we got smoked gammon joint. You then want to pick up a red Coke or a full fat Coke, whatever you call it, but the red Coke that has the full sugar in, so you don't want any artificial Coke. I would go unbranded, but actually quite a lot of the unbranded versions, say Lidl, Aldi, they add lots of sweeteners in, and you just want like the full sugar cola basically. You're going to pop that in the slow cooker on medium or high for around 5.5 to 6 hours, with the chopped up onions, carrots and celery, with the bay leaf and also cinnamon sticks if you have them. I never have cinnamon sticks. I always forget to buy them, so I just put dried cinnamon in. I've also pre-prepared my veg. We're going to be having this with Brussels sprouts and green runner beans. Every now and then I do make sure the slow cooker, the gammon is fully immersed in liquid. So because a tiny bit at the top was poking out, about halfway through the slow cooker process, I did turn the gammon over, but essentially you're just going to let it do its thing with the Coca-Cola. You can top up with hot water if you want, if you have a particularly large gammon, but yeah, you're just going to let it do its thing, and the Coca-Cola is going to completely sweeten it, and the saltiness of the gammon will work so well. So yeah, leave it in the slow cooker for as many hours as you can. You're then going to make the glaze about half an hour before it's time to glaze your gammon, and you're going to preheat your oven. So the glaze is super simple. You just need your maple syrup, cloves if you have them. It's quite optional, but I do actually have cloves in my cupboard. They're obviously not very safe, so keep them far away from children. But you're going to put half of your glaze on your scored gammon now, and then you're going to pop it in the oven uncovered for 15 minutes at quite a high temperature, because you want that stickiness to start crisping the top up. Now I take a layer of fat and the skin off the top of the gammon. It's better that way, to be honest, because gammon is quite fatty, and I know fat flavour is in the fat, but you don't want it too fatty, because the ham itself is going to be so full of flavour. You're then going to put the rest of your glaze over the top of the gammon. After 15 minutes, you're going to pour the other half of the glaze over, and you're going to put it in the oven again for another 15 minutes. And you should get these really sticky, little crunchy bits at the top. The ham absolutely melts away. I think the sheer sweetness of the cola just keeps it so moist and soft, almost pudding-like, but trust me, it's absolutely delicious. It's got to be also one of the most price-wise, economically things you can make, because this makes so many meals. As you'll see as the weekend goes on, it made so many meals, so much left over, and it's definitely one to cook over Christmas because it's so budget friendly and absolutely delicious. So the best way to serve it is hot with vegetables and mash on the side, and then you're going to have loads of leftovers, so make sure you tightly wrap it in tin foil and cover it up and put it in the fridge for the next day. And as you can see, it's the next day. I'm going to be making us some lunch, and we're having ham salad rolls. My children, because they're quite young, they're not going to be having this because this is extremely salty and extremely sugary. My 4-year-old did try some of the gammon and he really liked it, but in general I just got him some cheese, some chicken and some cucumber. But Lawrence and I very much enjoyed some nice sourdough French bread, some salad, cheese and the ham, and it definitely felt like the post-Christmas gorge that you have, where you just really enjoy leftovers from the fridge. It felt really, really festive this weekend, and it was such a good trial run. We really enjoyed it. So you've got loads of gammon left. We should have loads of gammon left in the fridge still. It can last really well in the fridge, probably 5 days, I would say. So this is sort of the second whole day after cooking. I'm making a chicken roast dinner. And with my chicken roast dinner, I make it super duper lemony and garlicky. So a whole lemon squeezed over and then the lemon put inside the chicken carcass. Lots of olive oil, lots of herbs, salt, pepper, lots of garlic. And I'm going to roast that in the oven. The trick to a good chicken is to baste. So you want to take it out every 20 minutes to baste, especially if it's a large chicken. You want to keep basting. I'm going to get on with all of the vegetables. Obviously with the Christmas Day dinner, we're going to be having a lot more sides, so pigs in blankets, a lot more of the vegetables. This is just a quick sort of chicken roast. So I do my usual potatoes, which I soak in apple cider vinegar. We have actually been doing the mascarpone potato trick. Is it mascarpone? Or no, clotted cream. And honestly, it works. It's delicious. And I'm serving it with broccoli and carrots. We are going to come back to the gammon, don't you worry. This is just to break up the sort of gammon fest that we were having this weekend. But don't worry, we've got something else coming with the leftover gammon. So yeah, as I said, parboil your potatoes. I add lots of fresh rosemary from the garden and some fat of some kind. I have actually got now goose fat in the house, so I will be using that as the festive period goes on. But as I said, baste your chicken. You want to get as much of the juice out of the carcass as you possibly can, and just keep basting it every 15 to 20 minutes, especially if you've got a really efficient oven. Our oven is very efficient, so I definitely need to keep the juices going, otherwise it will dry out. With our turkey, we actually put a cranberry butter garlic paste under the skin, just because turkey can get quite dry. So it's a little bit different to how we do it with the chicken, and we still obviously baste our turkey and things like that. But yeah, another baste. I'm also preparing my Yorkshire puddings mixture. Yorkshire puddings are so super easy. You should definitely try and give them a go. Because they are so delicious. And my children are obsessed with Yorkshire puddings now. Oren used to not really ever eat them, but now he loves them. So that's really good. Potatoes, you want to keep turning just to keep them crispy all round. You can give them a little squish down as well with your metal spoon, and that increases your fluffy to crispy ratio. And I'm also doing some sage and onion stuffing for Lawrence and I. Controversial, but I'm just a box stuffing kind of gal. I don't like this sort of pork stuffing, so it's not something I ever make or will ever have on Christmas Day. I love the stuff you get out of a box, and I've been really enjoying the sage and onion cranberry stuffing from Aldi. That's just my personal preference, so you will never see a stuffing recipe on this channel, I'm afraid. We're going to cut the chicken. It's a large chicken, so my children eat a lot of chicken and a lot of roast potatoes, so I would say this is like definitely a 2 adult portion, and I'd say it's like a 3 people portion we took, so about half a chicken, to be honest. I have the gravy going using the juices from the chicken and the lemons and the onions, and I've got the Yorkshire puddings going, and then I just serve up. So what I was planning on doing was saving at least 50% of the chicken, and it was a large chicken, so that was more than easy to do. I load up with the potatoes and veg and Yorkshire puddings. Again, this is Lawrence's plate. I love showing his plate because his plate always just looks so delicious. And yeah, thick gravy all over. The gravy has to be so thick it can barely move. And yeah, we enjoyed our roast dinner. Now, the next morning, first thing in the morning, I got on to making a Christmas pie. So this is what I will be doing over the Christmas week. I'll be making a pie using leftover turkey and gammon. Normally with our leftover turkey, we have cheeses and biscuits and things like that. And then we make a pie, and then we make a large curry. as well as the Christmas dinner. We try and make as much as we can, especially for the freezer, because this meat is expensive, and also you want to use as much as you can. I even use the carcass, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But I'm making a ham and chicken pie for the freezer, which we're going to enjoy in December, and I'm so excited about it. So the first thing you want to do is start frying mushrooms in a bit of butter and olive oil. You want all the liquid from the mushrooms to have evaporated, and then you're going to go in and add your seasonings, so your herbs, salt and pepper. I don't actually add too much salt because there's so much salt in the meat, so just be really careful with your salt seasoning. Lots and lots of garlic with the mushrooms. It's essentially a really simple mushroom white wine creamy sauce, because that's just what's going to be really nice with this pie. But yeah, you're just going to make the sauce. You don't need to cook your meat in this sauce. So wine, cream, mushrooms, garlic, and you're just going to keep going until the sauce is really delicious. Obviously cook off the alcohol in the sauce, and you want to add plain flour to thicken it up. Now whilst that sauce is making, I'm going to be making a chicken stock using the carcass of the chicken. So I've stripped all the meat from the carcass, and this is how easy it is to make a chicken stock. You can do it with one hand carrying a chunky baby. So you want to get vegetables from your fridge, celery, onions and garlic, they work the best, and you want to put them in a large pot. You're just going to boil your chicken carcass for as long as possible with as many vegetables as possible to draw out all the nutrients. Someone gave me a really good tip, which was to add a bit of vinegar to your broil, and that draws out more nutrients. So that's what I do. I add apple cider vinegar and hot water, herbs and lots of vegetables with the chicken carcass, and I'm going to boil that for as long as possible. Bring it to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer, and it's just going to simmer for, well, I simmered mine for over 12 hours and I got loads of stock. Make sure you're topping up with water, it doesn't dry out or anything. But you'll notice the bones will just turn melty, and you're just drawing out as much nutrients, and you're just making your own chicken stock. From after it completely cooled down, I did freeze my chicken stock in ice cube trays, and yeah, whenever I need it, just grab my own homemade chicken stock. Super duper easy. But once your white wine mushroom sauce for your pie has completely cooled down, so make sure it's completely cooled down, you want to go in and add your cold gammon and your cold turkey/chicken. Yeah, as you can see, I had absolutely tons left over, and we're so excited to eat this. We haven't actually eaten the pie yet. It's going to be a couple of weeks before we do. But yeah, this is something we will definitely do over Christmas to make sure we've used everything up. The great thing about this is it will last for ages in your freezer. So I've made the mixture and I'm going to put it in a pie dish and cover it with pastry today, and then wrap the whole thing up just so it's nice and protected, and pop it straight in your freezer. It will last a few months, to be honest, but we will have it in a couple of weeks. And it'll be a lovely family meal, and it's something we will do with the turkey. And you can actually go super duper festive with this. You can add your leftover pigs in blankets, you can add leftover Brussels sprouts inside this mixture. Just make sure you don't or cook again anything that hasn't yet been cooked. So don't cook the meat again when you're making your sauce. Don't cook the vegetables. Just put it all in cold. If it's already pre-cooked, put it all in cold with your sauce, and on the day of cooking, just get it out of the freezer, and you want it to defrost as much as possible. Then you want to do a nice egg wash on the top, and you want to cook it for until it's at least sort of 73 in the middle, 73 degrees Celsius. I always decorate my pies. It's just such a nice touch. Everybody loves like a little showstopper, and it's so easy to make it look like a showstopper, but really I've done nothing. I've just put over some pre-made pastry over the top of the mixture, and I'm decorating it like a Christmas tree. So easy, something you can do this festive period. As I said, it's so kind on your budget. It's such a cheap meal to make, and it lasts for so long, all this meat. And yeah, nothing has to go to waste over the festive period. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again really soon for the next one. Bye!